It's so fun to be back with you guys.
Hey everybody.
I feel
Hey
like it was
Kelly.
like just yesterday, right? I'm like, no, it was a week ago. How time goes if
Yeah,
we're not consciously like addressing stuff and being mindful and thinking about it, and all of a sudden a day turns into a week, turns into a month, and here we go.
and here we go, back at it.
Yes, indeed, you guys. Heidi and I kind of have a fun topic that we wanted to talk about and address with you guys, and it's a silly, but if you see the title of this podcast, maybe if you're here with us live, you can get a chuckle or go, "Oh my gosh, that's me," right? But it's what is stop stressing and start addressing. Because I think many of us stress about all these things. Oh, I'm not sleeping. Oh, I feel so distracted. Oh, I was just talking to some women this past week, and one was like, I just had this chronic like anxiety or depression, but I knew anxiety shouldn't be my issue, or I didn't think it was. And all doctors wanted to do was medicate. And finally, she's like, I'm going to get this addressed. And after she got it addressed, when she had to seek outside of traditional medicine, she it was like so clear to her that she got a diagnosis of ADHD and was like, oh my gosh, but now what I'm doing to manage this, no wonder. And of course, and now like I can move forward. But she stayed in that stressing for way too long, for years.
Yeah.
And a second one, life was really good until all of a sudden it was, I'm exhausted. And every doctor was just like, oh, you're just a young mom. Oh, you have a corporate job and you're just tired. It's normal, right? And she spun her wheels and spun her wheels and finally was like, no more. And went and sought out again functional medicine of we've got to be able to get to root cause. And then it was like, oh my God, I've got a severe case of Lyme disease. Like, no wonder why I've been feeling this way. And Heidi and I are like, this is happening all around us. People aren't listening to those whispers until it gets so bad that then you're just stressing about it.
Yeah. Or you feel so behind that the way out seems too big,
Yes.
too much
Yeah.
effort, too daunting. Um, and Kelly, when you talk about that story, that's so often how people find me. They've been to every doctor. They've even gone to other functional medicine doctors, and they arrive with stacks of test results, and they still don't feel better after they've tried this protocol and that protocol and gone through the whole gamut of things. And so they arrive very frustrated. And I'm a little nervous thinking, oh, what am I going to do differently? Right. But here's the key is I get the benefit of the other practitioners' work. It glares at us. Well, that didn't work. That didn't work. This isn't working. And they're still in my office. What can we do differently? Let's dig deeper. Let's dive, look at different avenues, not just repeat the same thing and hope for a different outcome. Isn't that insanity? I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, and so this is what happens is oftentimes number one, women get a little bit, I don't want to say ignored,
Decide just, yeah.
a mild push aside. It's nothing. You're just being hysterical. The wandering uterus syndrome. You're just being
Yeah.
hysterical. And here's a medication to help with that. And just putting band aids on it, but it doesn't change the root cause. And so things get worse. The whisper gets louder because here's the deal with the body, right? It will let us know at every single moment if it's good, if it's happy, if it's balanced, if it's stable, and it will manifest ways of letting you know when it's not. And we don't listen to it until it's too late, or we doubt it, we hesitate, or much like your women's experience, we go in and we're told it's all in your head, because that's the message when you're given an anti-anxiety drug or a medication to cover up what you're feeling. It's saying it's all in your head. And it's, I don't know about you, but I've heard that, I'd be like, no, I'm not crazy, because that's the message, right? And so we have to keep seeking, we have to keep listening to the body. And maybe I went off on a tangent that you didn't want to go, but that's the thing, is that's how women find me. They've been to all the doctors, they've tried all the things, and they still say, but I know my labs are normal, but I still feel awful.
Well, and I think, Heidi, what's also really was very aha as you were talking about that is, let's just say somebody went from traditional medicine, and typically people start there because their insurance is covering some of it, not all of it anymore, right? Between your copays and how much we're paying, we think our insurance is free. It's not free, everybody, right? Like, check it out. We're still paying for that. But usually we start there traditionally. Then we move on, unless we already have a relationship with a natural practitioner of some sort that we just go there straight away. So if you didn't have a relationship, you kind of sit there trying to figure out, like, what specialist do I need? I don't know. Am I fine? Am I not fine? Until you're like, okay, enough is enough. I'm going to seek someone. But a lot of those individuals that came to you that already were at other practitioners similar to yourself, some of the differences I see that I really want to highlight for people is, if you're going looking for them to fix you, just like a doctor in Western medicine is going to fix you, you're still with the wrong expectation. It is this process of you and something going on with you. And I don't mean you're doing something wrong. I mean, your house maybe is full of mold. I mean, you're eating tons of sugar. I mean, you're so stressed out, your adrenals are fried. Like, we all need to take our own ownership. It's the practitioner to help us navigate the work, to help us find the path. And
Right.
I think that's what makes your work so good, is this constant navigation, exploration. You're an excellent question asker, right? And the more of these questions we keep asking people. So it's not, don't ever think of the world of natural medicine, functional medicine as they'll fix my root cause. The doctor can't, but they will.
Right.
And because sometimes this world has now been like, well, they're not helping me either, or been to 5 practitioners. And so I want each and every one of you to go, like, you have a very big ownership part in this, number one.
Mm-hmm.
But the second big part for any of us is, as we've gone through life, we have a support system. A kid in school has your class and has your teacher. Then you move on to maybe activities, whether it's you're in theater or performance or sports, you have a group that you're together with and a coach and a teacher. So you learn together, you get better together. And then, off between high school, college, you have these groups of people. Maybe you have a youth group, maybe you have a group that you go work out with, but you have these group with like-minded interest, and usually a leader, somebody that's your accountability partner, until one day early adulthood happens and we lose it all. And we're supposed to figure out life alone. Now, I don't mean literally alone, like maybe you'll be married, you have some friends, but you're navigating changes on your own. And so as we seek our health shouldn't be ever alone. But it is alone of, we go to the doctor, we walk in, it's one-on-one, we do a test, we get a prescription, we get a supplement, we get a something, and we leave. There's no, where's my team? Who do I ask questions to? I don't have an accountability partner. I guess I'll just wait for 6 months until I go back.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
either things get worse or now it's going down this path. And so I've just realized, as a clinician, when I moved away from my practice and people are like, but what am I saw you every week, maybe multiple times a week for a long time. What am I going to do without you? They missed the hand-holding, accountability, discussions on a regular basis. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what women need, that feel misguided, don't know where to ask questions, don't know there even is a place to collaborate together, to have your team
Mm-hmm.
with your coach and accountability partner. And that's what we're trying to do, you guys. As Heidi and I saw a missing link in women's health, we're talking specifically here,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we want women to listen to the whisper early. We want them to not only come, let's seek, ask the right questions, get the right test done. If you are like confused, you don't know what your test even said, bring them to us. Let's take a deeper dive
Yeah.
so we can say and give you a safe place to ask questions, to understand the why, to get ahas. I mean, Heidi, last week you were doing some coaching with women on our program, and the ahas were like flying off right and left.
Yeah, it was so fun because it was just one question that then sparked 15 others, and the answers then sparked more question. It was a beautiful, yeah, what I love about community and what I love about support groups is at first it's crickets. Always. I did a talk with a big company and room full of women, and I said, "Oh, are there any questions?" And it was crickets. And I thought, I gave them so much information. I know they have never heard, or most of them maybe have heard it. But when I was speaking, their eyes were like, and they're frantically taking notes. So I'm thinking, why no questions? Is everyone just worried about they were going to ask the dumb question? Like there's such a thing.
Yeah.
And one woman, brave woman, said, can I just ask this one? And she asked the question, and oh my gosh, the talk was supposed to end, I think 20 minutes, 25 minutes before it actually did, because of the question. The Q&A just took off. And by the end, everyone was closer, sitting closer, taking more notes. That you could tell the real understanding was kind of happening, that they were absorbing what they were hearing and actually applying it to their lives. And I think that's such the great thing about community, because you're not alone. Everyone's feeling the same way. Everyone has the same question, but was afraid to ask. So yeah, what Kellie and I see is that gap, that
That gap.
we need to get the conversation going and keep it going, because we're all in the same boat, and at some level experience all these things at the same time. We all have to go through perimenopause. We all have to go through menopause. Nobody's getting out alive, right? But let's do it together and support each other and prop each other up. And so we're not this island out there going, does every woman feel like this? Does everyone put up with this? Etc. Yeah.
I mean, it was wild for me. Here I am in the health and wellness field, having so many of my friends at a similar age. And I clearly remember one day, all of a sudden, I feel this racing heart. Now my mom has AFib, so I immediately am like, oh my gosh, like what? And then, of course, as I start reading and listening and learning, I'm like, oh, how interesting. This is a common symptom of people when they're starting to go through perimenopause into menopause, this racing heart. And then I started asking questions to people, my friends, like, oh, I ended up in the ER twice. I thought I was like having a heart attack. Oh, like, wait, where is that conversation?
Yeah.
And so when you have a community and a group, you might not be going through something at the moment, but you either did before or maybe will be. And so taking in that, like, oh, then, and it's not to say like, oh, just deal with it. There's actually things like, oh, this is what's happening and this is what helped me, what helped you. There's things that we can, so you never have to say, any of us women going through the aging process, right? We can thrive in this. We don't need to feel like crap. We don't need to have horrible symptoms.
Yeah.
Yes, our body is changing. That is
Yeah.
100% fact. But
Yeah.
within that changing, there's so much that we can do to feel pretty good. I mean, there might be little bumps in the road,
Sure. There's
but
going to be. There's transition times. Your body's going through some pretty profound transitions. But if you listen to the body, if you stay that course, you're going to have to change what you've always done that always worked.
yeah, that's the key.
Doesn't work anymore. So this is where community, this is where gathering new information to say, well, now how do I have to do it now? Because my workouts that I used to lose weight no problem at 30 is making me gain weight now at 45. Absolutely. We got to change what we're doing, shift it, because internally we're shifting. So move the boat with the tide, if you will, and it's a much pleasurable ride.
Much
But
pleasure.
with the community, it's so much more fun.
It's so much more fun. And you guys, well, as we're kind of wrapping up, I mean, think about where you are in your life today and what areas do you have community in. I think some people have community by default because like their kids are growing up, they're in these sports, so you hang out with these parents because they're all on the sideline. Maybe your kid is in a theater production, right? And so it's the group of people that are around you. Maybe it's the church you grew up in and you've always been in, and then that's your community. But what I want you to know is you can choose your community. And when you're choosing, you need to think, what am I looking for? What are the qualities of the people, the elevated conversation, that I want to surround myself with? And so they talk about that a lot in business, that you want to surround yourself with people that are better than you, above you, that you can learn from. You know, if you want to be a millionaire, hang out with millionaires. Well, when we're having this health conversation, you don't want to hang out with everybody talking about how crappy they feel. That's not the place to live fully and alive and this longevity life. But you got to start asking better questions of where is my group to
Yeah.
hang out with? And so maybe you feel like Heidi and I are like a place for you to be. Yes, you can come and seek us out one on one, but honestly, we are really trying to push people like, hey, we're going to help you with your wellness plan. But on top of that, it's not a one and done.
Right.
It's
Right.
it's a lifestyle with community and support.
Exactly. It's ongoing. It's available all the time. And that's the key. We see a doctor, they're not available after that. Even functional medicine practitioners, it's just we can't spread ourselves so thin with each person. And so it's better if we can just enter a community and have that conversation and have that ongoing support. It's and I think it's important to really get to the health journey, because that journey is fraught with crazy messages out there. Should I? Shouldn't I? Is this real? Is this not real? Um, and let's just talk through it. You know, I'm not like the authority on it, but I have a lot of experience, and Kellie has a lot of experience. Between the two of us, we can say, I haven't seen that work. I haven't seen the promises of that work, but this does. This I've seen a lot of work happen with that, or aha moments and changes in health. So join a community, share, get the support, give the support, because we're always better if we're serving, and have that wonderful exchange. But join us.
Oh my gosh, you guys. So the bottom line is, right, stop stressing and start addressing. Do something today, take action, take one step. If you just want to experience our membership, it is a month to month. You can dip your toe in, come join us for a month. Maybe it's for you, maybe it's not for you. I think you'll find you're going to love it, but no strings attached. We are here for you. Our goal is just to serve and elevate women as we're aging.
Absolutely.
Well, until next time, Dr. Heidi, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for all of your wisdom and your fun. And hopefully, you guys, again, you walked away with something of like, oh gosh, why have I been stressing? And it's so true. I've been telling all my friends and my spouse and whatever. I guess it's time to do something.
Yeah. No stressing. Let's address and be
All right,
well.
you guys, be well. Until next week.
Bye
Bye.
bye.